Many children dream of the ability to fly, to ascend to unlimited heights and impossible achievements. While many children only dream it, others choose to live it. For retired Major General Russell Axtell, his love for flight allowed him the possibility to soar higher than he had ever expected. Born in Trenton, Missouri, Russell Axtell moved with his family to Wichita at a young age. His exposure to airplanes and to the marvel of flight was first instilled through his father.
My dad worked at Boeing Aircraft, which is why he came to Kansas to start work at Boeing. He'd been in World War II as a crew chief on B-17s, and so I had a bit of an aircraft background. And in fact, my first airplane ride was a birthday present my dad bought for me when I was, 14 or something like that.
After high school, Axtell attended Wichita State University. Enrolled in the Air Force ROTC program, he additionally began taking flight lessons in hopes of joining the active duty Air Force after his graduation.
But then the draft became a problem, and the Guard popped up as an alternative to the draft about halfway through college, and found out they needed some pilots out of McConnell, and that was what I wanted to do. So I went out to McConnell and told them I was interested, and they accepted me and became part of the Guard at that point, December of '68.
Axtell received a direct commission in 1969 and attended pilot training for the F-100 and F-105, receiving high honors as an outstanding graduate of his class. His abilities granted him a full-time military technician position with the Kansas Air National Guard as an F-105 instructor.
Some people were kind of career-oriented. I wasn't so much career-oriented. I just was enjoying what I was doing, and then kind of look to see what opportunities followed next. Take that opportunity and enjoy that, what you're doing there, and then see what the next opportunity is, and it just kind of unfolded as it went along.
Following this passion led Axtell to serve in numerous appointments and positions throughout the following years. He was appointed as the Air National Guard Advisor to the Air Force Tax Air Command and was one of 3 Air National Guard officers in his class selected to attend the Industrial College of the Armed Forces. In 1990, Axtell returned to Kansas and became the commander of Smoky Hill Weapons Range, where he oversaw an expansion of the target area and initiated many facility improvement programs. During this time, he additionally resumed his flying career as an instructor pilot for the F-16.
I remember one particular mission where I had a student. You could derate the airplane. There's a switch you could make where it was only 6G capable rather than 9G capable. And you would do that just so the student had an advantage on you. And the student wasn't getting in, so I'm in a constant 6G turn. And he's trying to come in, and then he'd come off. Okay, so I grab a breath and get a breath or two, and then he'd come back in. And you're talking to him in between, trying to help what he's doing. And I remember after a couple of turns, I was I was beat. I was ready to quit.
In no time at all, Axtell was selected as the commander of the 184th Fighter Group. As commander, he led the unit through an unprecedented conversion to become the first ever Air National Guard Heavy Bomber Unit and the first Air National Guard unit in the nation to receive the B-1B bomber.
The 184th was going through a huge transition at that time. We were going from a fighter unit to a bomber unit. We're going from a training unit to an operational unit. And there was large personnel changes involved in that. We had 60 F-16s on the ramp out there, so we had 60 crew chiefs, all proud people doing great jobs with their aircraft. You get 10 B-1s, so there's 50 of those guys that aren't going to be doing what they were doing before, plus other changes throughout the unit. So shepherded the unit through that large transition.
This conversion took the unit through the largest reduction in force ever conducted in Kansas, and the first of a combined military technician and the Air Guard Reserve. General Axtell's leadership resulted in the successful, on-time completion of the conversion.
I think any job you have, it's the people that you work with, and you got to work with the whole unit. So quite rewarding.
In 1998, General Axtell retired from his position as a full-time military technician. However, thanks to the support and gentle influence of his wife, Axtell began working as an instructor for Flight Safety International, all while still remaining an integral part of the Kansas Guard.
Stayed around the house for a year. Finally, the wife kicked me out. She had a line that I love to tell. She said, "I married you for better or for worse, but not for lunch." She said, "I've never had to worry about what to fix for lunch, and now you're here all the time. Go do something." And so I went to work for flight safety then in '99. So I was working at flight safety as an instructor while I was finishing up my Guard career.
During his last years in the Kansas Air National Guard, Axtell was appointed as the Chief of Staff, where he oversaw the state partnership with the Ukraine and assumed leadership as the president of the Kansas Starbase program. His dedication to the Guard mission led to his implementation of a mentoring program that helped turn around state personnel trends, resulting in record-setting personnel gains.
Part of what I was trying to do was just increase exposure of the younger officers across the Guard. There was the Wichita unit and there was the Forbes unit, and trying to increase their knowledge of each other. The more they know about Kansas, the more they know about the National Guard as a whole, then the more useful they're going to be to the unit, and the more ideas they'll have about what the unit can do, and it helps with their careers and helps the unit, helps Kansas overall.
Shortly after, Axtell was appointed as the Assistant Adjutant General of the Air Guard and concurrently served as the commander of the Kansas Air National Guard. Major General Axtell retired from the Guard in 2006, yet he still considers the Kansas Guard a secondary family.
The Guard career is just a wonderful career. Nice group of people. It's nice to be around the same group of people, and being a member of the 184th for so many years, you kind of grew up with the same group of people. You know, I went from a second lieutenant up through the commander of the unit, so you got to know a lot of people fairly well.
Even in retirement, Axtell still serves the Guard and his community. He led the Adjutant General's Air National Guard Strategic Planning Committee and has served on several national, state, and local level committees, as well as served on the board of directors for United Way and the Boy Scouts. As Axtell admits, even his devotion to his passion and career could not have been attained without the consistent support from his loving wife.
A huge supporter, you know, and somebody that whatever I wanted to do, she was no questions about it. We'd go ahead and do that. So I had complete freedom to do whatever I thought was best and most interesting in my Guard career. And you can't survive long without that.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome our next inductee into the Kansas National Guard Hall of Fame, retired Major General Russell Axtell.